Ever get that urge to run off into the forest and live in a cabin? Yeah, maybe don't. These 10 places are beautiful, sure, but something always seems to go wrong there. Here are the top 10 cabins with truly disturbing backstories. Let's open up the files. Hidden deep in the Bitterroot Mountains of Idaho sits a perfectly maintained A-frame cabin, and no one claims to own it. In 2021, a pair of hikers seeking shelter during a storm made their way to the structure after seeing lights through the trees. They found the cabin unlocked, stocked with food labelled only in numbers and eerily silent. What caught their attention most? Dozens of tiny fuzzy microphones sewn into the rafters and moss outside. They left in the morning, freaked out but unharmed. When they returned a year later, the cabin was gone. Vanished. No prints, no fire, nothing. Some internet sleuths who analysed photos suggested the build resembled those used for surveillance during the Cold War. But updated, one Redditor claimed, "It watched us wander in, it let us leave, but it knew we came." This small log cabin in Nova Scotia has burned down 6 times. Every time, it's rebuilt, identical to the original, even after the last owner passed away in 1998. Its newest owner recorded nightly footage when he started waking to burning smells but no fire. After sharing the oddities online, he got a DM. A local historian told him the cabin sits atop land where 6 lumbermen died in a forest fire in 1913. When asked why the house always returns to its original layout, the message read, "Because they're still trying to escape it." There's a mountaintop in Japan's Northern Alps where a tiny plywood hut leans against an outcrop of black ice. Locals know it as Uri Peak Refuge. The door requires no key, it just opens. Inside, a teacup left steaming, decades old, and never cold. Every autumn, drone pilots record a singular candle glowing within. A chilling entry from a climbing log in 2006 reads, "Spoke with the woman here. She said I died up here in 57. Weather makes it nearly unreachable by midwinter. Still, it seems the door always closes behind whoever enters. But not everyone's found exiting. In 1986, a cabin in Owl Creek, Wyoming was found abandoned with a pot of stew still warm and 3 sets of boots by the door. No sign of struggle, no prints leading away. Locals still theorise whether the group, 2 biologists and a guest, might have followed something into the woods that night. When law enforcement returned weeks later, they reported finding faint, almost deliberate stacks of rocks spiralling out from the property. Some speculated they mirrored the Fibonacci sequence. That part's been debated. What isn't? None of them were ever found, not even a thread of fabric. Alaska's snowfields hide a strange little structure, officially labelled Cache 6 by park rangers. Situated between 2 glacier trails, it was built as emergency shelter. But for 3 consecutive winters, radio operators on shortwave frequencies reported catching a strange Morse signal originating from the site. It repeated until it didn't. The code translated simply to, "Why did you leave me?" Despite decommissioning the shelter, hikers still say their watches tick weirdly near the site. Multiple satellite flyovers have captured static interference, always shaped like the cabin, even when it's buried in snow. Or isn't there at all? The Cape Cod National Seashore is dotted with what's called dune shacks, hand-built, weather-worn huts that artists once lived in during the 1930s. One is totally off limits now, not just because of preservation rules, but because of the diary. Found tucked into a floorboard in 2020, it was written entirely backward like mirror text. The last 4 pages simply say, "It speaks at night. When I stopped answering, it moved inside." Experts confirmed the handwriting was from a well-known painter last seen in the 50s, but she was supposedly found drowned over 30 miles away. Echo Lake in Oregon is calm, cold, and mostly avoided. Tucked along its northwest edge is Cabin 5, a small A-frame with a green tin roof. Every decade, a camper has gone missing less than a quarter mile from that place. The weirdest thing? In each case, a note was pinned to the front door. Same paper, same weird ink, same sentence. "You're off course again." Some lake rangers think it's a serial prank done by locals, but one ranger, who retired in 2002, warned hikers on his final day, "If that door's open, turn around. You weren't meant to arrive there yet." In 2010, a man named Ellis disappeared from his tech job in Chicago. 4 years later, an ultra-minimalist glass cabin was found deep inside a Montana forest. Inside was a form of manifesto, notes referring to society as the echo chamber and describing methods of full unlinking. It matched Ellis's writing. The entire place was wired with copper bands, handheld mirrors faced outward in every corner, and bizarre symbols etched under the windowsills. The wood stove was cold, but the toothbrush was wet. He remains missing. The forest has since reclaimed the trail to where the cabin stood. Deep in British Columbia, Old Timber number 32 isn't just a serial number, it's a logging cabin, rebuilt again and again, on orders that date back to the 1920s. Nobody lives in it. It just exists. Maintained, cleaned. One traveller documented chairs that always face magnetic south, no matter where you move them. Another claimed the fireplace logs burn, but leave no ash. The most disturbing? A pilot who flew over the site in 2023 said he saw 3 men in black suits waving at him. Logged elevation camera footage shows no one was there. Nestled in an obscure valley in Romania is a cabin that was demolished twice by floods and once by fire. But within 2 months every time, it grows back. Not rebuilt, regrown. Wood tests show cuts inconsistent with modern tools, as if they were chewed by time. No one's claimed responsibility. A Vice journalist attempted to camp near it once and reported waking up 15 metres away, facing the opposite direction, compass spinning wildly. The trees around her were young, but the cabin was already dark, stained and aged. Locals just call it Casa Care Revine, the house that returns. If you're still planning that secluded vacation after watching this, you're braver than I am. Thanks for hanging out with me once again. Make sure you're subscribed. We post mysterious deep dives every weeknight. And if you liked this one, a like or comment lets us know you're out there. Stay curious, stay safe. That was your dose of the unknown. See you in the next file. Subscribe for more of the unknown.